Let me be real with you today, and I mean truly honest in a way that most people are too afraid to say out loud. The reason most people stay poor has nothing to do with bad luck, the economy, or where they were born. It goes much deeper than that. And before you click away thinking this is just another motivational talk, stay with me, because what I am about to share could genuinely change the way you think about money forever. This is not about blame. This is about patterns that most people never even realize they are living inside of. The very first reason most people stay poor is the way they think about money itself. Most people have a deeply emotional and mostly negative relationship with money. They feel guilty when they have it, anxious when they don't, and confused about how to keep it. This is called a scarcity mindset, and it is more dangerous than any financial crisis you could ever face from the outside. When you believe deep down that money is hard to get, easy to lose, and never enough, your brain will quietly make decisions every single day that confirm exactly that belief. Think about the people around you who never seem to move forward financially, no matter how hard they work. You will notice they speak about money in a very specific way. They say things like, "Money is the root of all evil," "Rich people are greedy," or "I was just not born lucky enough." Those sentences sound harmless, but they are actually programming the subconscious mind to avoid wealth at every turn. The mind does not know the difference between a joke and a belief. So every negative thing you say about money becomes a quiet instruction that your brain follows without question. Now let us talk about spending habits, because this is where most people's financial story falls apart in the most visible way. The majority of people who stay poor spend their money trying to look rich, rather than spending their money to actually become financially free. They buy the latest phone on installment. They upgrade their car before they have savings. They go out to eat every weekend because they deserve it after a hard week. All of these decisions feel completely justified in the moment, but they are silently draining the future that could have been built with that same money. There is a very important difference between spending money on things that make you feel good right now and investing money into things that will make your life better forever. Rich people understood this difference early, and it is one of the main reasons they are where they are today. Another massive reason people stay poor is that they trade time for money and never question whether that is the only way. Most people grow up being told to study hard, get a good job, work for 40 years and then retire, and they follow that path without ever asking if there is another way. The problem with only trading time for money is that your time is limited, and no matter how hard you work, there will always be a ceiling above your income. The people who break out of poverty understand that at some point you need money to start working for you, instead of you always working for money. This does not mean you need to quit your job tomorrow or become an entrepreneur overnight, but it does mean you need to start thinking about how to create even a small stream of income that does not require your direct time every single hour. Even the smallest investment, the smallest side income, the smallest asset can begin to shift the equation over time. One of the most painful reasons people stay poor is the environment they surround themselves with. If everyone around you is broke, complaining about bills and laughing at people who try to do something different, it becomes almost impossible to think differently from that group. Humans are deeply social creatures, and we unconsciously adopt the beliefs, habits, and standards of the people we spend the most time with. This is not a flaw, it is how we are wired. But it means that if you want to change your financial situation, you may need to seriously evaluate who is in your inner circle. This does not mean abandoning your family or old friends, but it does mean actively seeking out people who think about money differently, people who are building something, people who talk about opportunities instead of only problems. That kind of exposure alone can rewire how you see what is possible for your own life. Now let us talk about something that almost nobody discusses, and that is the relationship between comfort and poverty. Staying poor is actually very comfortable for a lot of people. Not comfortable in terms of having enough money, but comfortable in terms of not having to take risks or face the fear of failure. Every time someone has an idea to start something, to learn a new skill, to invest in themselves, there is a voice that says, "What if it does not work out? What will people say? What if I lose the little I have?" That voice keeps millions of people locked in a life that is safe, but going nowhere. The people who change their financial situation are not people who have no fear. They are people who feel the fear and take the step anyway, because they understand that the cost of staying still is higher than the cost of trying and failing. Failure is temporary, but a lifetime of not trying is permanent. Another thing that keeps people poor is the complete absence of financial education. Most of us were never taught in school how money actually works, and how interest compounds, how taxes work, how investments grow, how debt can either build you or destroy you, depending on how you use it. So people make massive financial decisions based on guesses, on what their parents did, or on what their friends are doing, without ever truly understanding the rules of the game they are playing. And you cannot win a game whose rules you do not know, no matter how hard you try or how much effort you put in. The good news is that financial education is more accessible today than it has ever been in human history. Books, videos, podcasts, online courses, the information is everywhere, and most of it is completely free, which means the only thing standing between you and financial knowledge right now is the decision to go and get it. There is also the trap of waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. People say, "I will start saving when I earn more. I will invest when I have enough money. I will learn about finances when things calm down." And years go by with nothing changing because the perfect moment never arrives. The truth is, the best time to start was yesterday, and the second best time is right now, even if it is small, even if it is imperfect, even if you only have $10 to put aside this week. The habit of starting matters more than the amount you start with, because habits compound just like money does. And finally, one of the deepest reasons people stay poor is that they do not truly believe they deserve to be wealthy. There is a quiet inner voice in many people that says wealth is for other people, not for someone like me. And that voice influences every financial decision they make without them even realizing it. Building real wealth starts with the belief that you are worthy of it, that your family deserves it, that there is nothing shameful or greedy about wanting financial freedom. Once you change that belief at the core, everything else, the habits, the decisions, the opportunities, will begin to align in a completely different direction for your life.